Iran's ruling clerics on Sunday appointed Mojtaba Khamenei as the country's new supreme leader after the death of his father, Ali Khamenei, in recent US-Israeli strikes. The appointment came 9 days after the attacks killed the longtime leader and pushed the Middle East into a widening war. Shiite clerics from the 88-member Assembly of Experts convened to choose the third supreme leader since the Iranian Revolution. State television broadcast the announcement beside a portrait of the 56-year-old cleric, who closely resembles his father. Earlier Sunday, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said the Iranian people, not US President Donald Trump, would elect their new leader and demanded that the US President apologize for starting the war with Iran. Araghchi told NBC's Meet the Press that no one would be allowed to interfere in Iran's domestic affairs. Trump reiterated his demand Sunday to have a say in selecting Iran's next supreme leader. Meanwhile, the Israeli military said it killed 3 key commanders from the elite Quds force of Iran's Revolutionary Guards in a strike on a hotel in Beirut that left 5 Guards members dead. Israel said its navy carried out the overnight operation using precise intelligence while the commanders from the Lebanon Corps and Palestine Corps were meeting at the hotel. Israeli military chief Eyal Zamir said there was no safe place for the Iranian Axis anywhere in the Middle East. Images released by Saudi Arabia's defense ministry showed air defense systems intercepting Iranian drones that attempted to target the kingdom in recent days. A projectile struck Al-Kharj governorate south of Riyadh, killing 2 people and injuring 12, according to civil defense authorities. Smoke also billowed after an Israeli strike destroyed a building in the southern Lebanese village of Sir El Gabia, about 20 kilometers east of Tyre. Residents said the building was filled with civilians. In southern Lebanon, where Israel has been fighting the Iran-backed group Hezbollah, the health ministry said 8 people were killed in strikes across more than 20 towns and villages. A B-1 Lancer from the United States Air Force was seen taxiing after landing at RAF Fairford in southwest England, as the US began using British bases for certain operations against Iran. The base is owned by the British government, but hosts US Air Force personnel. A C-5 Galaxy was also visible on the runway, while anti-war protesters demonstrated outside the facility. Images posted on social media on March 7th and 8th showed an oil depot in Tehran engulfed in flames, with thick black smoke rising into the sky. Tehran Governor Mohammadsadeh Motammedia said fuel distribution in the capital had been temporarily interrupted after US and Israeli strikes on oil depots in and around the city. The Israeli army confirmed its Air Force targeted fuel storage facilities in Tehran to prevent their use by the Iranian military. Trump on Sunday dismissed the war-related spike in oil prices as a small price to pay for removing the threat of Iran's nuclear program. He wrote on Truth Social, short-term oil prices, which will drop rapidly when the destruction of the Iran nuclear threat is over, is a very small price to pay for USA. Meanwhile, US Energy Secretary Chris Wright said oil and gas prices will begin to fall when the US begins to knock out Iran's ability to hinder tanker traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. The plan is to get oil and natural gas and fertilizer, as well as all the products from the Gulf flowing through the straits before. The conflict has also strained energy supplies elsewhere. In Bangladesh, authorities introduced fuel rationing as the crisis deepened global shortages. The state-run Bangladesh Petroleum Corporation limited sales for many vehicles after panic buying created long lines at filling stations in the nation of 170 million people, which imports 95% of its oil and gas.